Guys, I'm so excited about the podcast today. I got former Cornhusker linebacker JoJo Domann, who just signed to play for the Colts, coming on the podcast. And you know your boy can't be embarrassed. You know he can't be looking small. So we're about to get a little arm session in, and then podcast. Whoop, whoop.
BruKnows, what you tryna find out? How to get a bag with a shawty in the house, baby. BruKnows, if you need to know how, said you wanna know how, you can find out right now, cause BruKnows, he knows. BruKnows, what you tryna find out? 3, 2, 1, Bruno knows starts now.
Cool. Welcome back, guys, to the BruKnows podcast. We're blessed today, man. Right before this podcast here, we did some breath work, something I've been introduced to for the first time today. I do a lot of meditation, but never like this. And I have known this man that I'm about to introduce here for literally 20 minutes. But I already know he's about that life, bro. I know he's about what he says he's about. So the other person here is a good friend of mine, truly genuine soul. So let me introduce these guys. The first guy I have on the podcast here is JoJo Domann. Is that how you pronounce your last name? So JoJo is recently signed to the Colts, baby. All right. Usually, you know, your boy's a Broncos fan, would feel some type of way, and I'm sure he could understand, right? But then we got Peyton Manning, so it's all good. So JoJo's about to join the Colts here this season. And then I got Harrison here. Harrison's one of the top real estate agents here in Colorado Springs. Just a really great entrepreneur, bro. You don't really find people our age willing to put in the time, put in the work, and these two gentlemen have. So welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate you for having us.
Sweet. How long have you two known each other?
Since we were like 6 or 7 years old. We go back to soccer days, which eventually led to our siblings playing sports together and our parents being tied in, just because like competitive soccer, we were playing it way too much.
Y'all were playing soccer together, bro?
Soccer team
give you a nutmeg, right?
Our soccer team was literally like top 16 in the nation at one point.
Really?
And then obviously
I didn't
JoJo
know
went
you played
off.
soccer, bro.
Yeah, we were heavy into it.
Damn, bro. I'm Brazilian, so your boy's like got a little blood.
You got the little, who is it, Pele?
Neymar.
Bro, my dad is big time soccer player. My dad's like 54. And he's got like, you know, a little beer belly, but that's just from working because he doesn't work, bro. But he sauces dudes up, like dudes in their early 30s. This dude's scoring goals from like the back. And he played with a lot of the guys that won, you know, some World Cups back in the day, the ones that came from our hometown. That's so like, wild. There's this guy called like Flavio Conceição, and he was a defender on, I think it was like the 98 World Cup. And my dad like grew up with them. Some of these guys don't even know how to read, bro, and they're winning World Cups because it's like that's all you can do.
That's all they do in those countries is to play soccer. There's no thinking about playing American football. There's no thinking about basketball, really.
What? Yeah, like, there's like no American football at all.
It's the biggest sport in the world, soccer.
It's only here. Yeah. But my guy, we ain't it's soccer.
Yeah, so
American football. So you're just a footballer, bro.
Exactly.
I'm just a baller, bro.
I love that. Did you play soccer in high school?
No. I had to choose my freshman year between soccer and football.
Red pill, blue pill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I went with the purple pill.
The purple, bro. That's awesome. So let me ask you this. What did we just do? I know we were doing breath work, but like, where did you get that from? Because it was literally an experience. He just walked us through essentially like a meditation, but with a song that made the breathing so easy. Left my body and then, you know, literally felt like I was living with the gods. What just happened, bro? Explain it to me.
Well, we just did a ancient practice that's been going around for hundreds of thousands of years. And before there was medicine and CVS and Walgreens, we had the power of the breath to heal. And the type of breath we just did is called holotropic, which means moving towards wholeness.
Okay.
And basically, physiologically, we alkalized our blood, raised the pH level in our blood, and raised the vibration of every cell in our body. Dang. After 3 minutes, when you said like that lasted 3 minutes and it felt like it was 2 seconds, that's because your autonomic nervous system kicks in after 3 minutes.
Okay.
And your analytical mind goes and takes a vacation, and you're just one with yourself.
Yeah, and I thought it was cool how you even mentioned that. You know, it almost feels like, and the weirdest thing is, I'm Christian, right? But at the end of that breath work, I just like felt the need to like pray over all of us and pray for this podcast, and it came naturally, and it wasn't something that I'm like used to doing. I recently found Christianity through a lot of situations. Like sometimes when you feel the hand of God moving within you, I always felt this power of like we are one. But recently, like I'm not the type to just like pray and like bless us, and I felt that at the end of it, and so I felt like really connected with the universe. Where did you learn this? Who taught it to you?
One of my mentors, Scott Seymour, introduced it to me, and this dude is, just
awoken.
He's the alchemist.
Yeah. Where'd you meet this guy?
Say that again?
Where'd you meet this guy? Is this like a football related thing or?
No, my sister's in the spiritual community and connected us for my senior year. She wanted, she's as invested in my journey as I am. Right?
Yeah,
she wants me to be successful. So going into my senior year.
I think, let me stop you real quick. I think a big part is knowing like your story leading up to your senior year, all the adversity that you had to overcome, because that's, I think that's why she seeked out help getting you that kind of like that vision and that kind of therapy.
So let me preface it. Let me preface it because I feel like I did enough research to somewhat know and to the layman, right? So my understanding is, bro, even my father-in-law, because he went to school with Allie, who's my wife's sister, and he was like, "Oh yeah," because I told him, right, like I'm having, I didn't watch a lot of college football or anything, bro, and I just moved to Springs. I don't know. Like, I guess this guy's coming on. He's plays for the Colts. They're like, "Oh yeah, JoJo." I was like, "Cool." And he's like, "Yeah." My father-in-law is saying this. So my wife's dad, bro, is just like, this dude was just next level. He would just make everybody kind of look like kids out there. So you're a 3-time state champ with Pine Creek, or is it 2-time?
2-time state champ.
2-time state champ. And then you went and played for Nebraska.
Yep.
Right? You had 2 surgeries in Nebraska. Is that true?
I had 7 total surgeries.
Dang, bro.
2 ACLs back-to-back in 7 months.
Okay. 2 ACLs in 7 months.
Yep.
And 7 total surgeries. And then from the research I did, right, you were kind of expected to go like rounds 3 through 5.
Yep.
Maybe. And then you ended up going undrafted, right? But give me the ticket, bro. That's all I need is the ticket, period. So that's just the preface of what I know. What am I missing about like his journey?
That's pretty much everything I touched on. I mean, there's stuff. We can go deeper than that on like a more personal level, but that was pretty much. So
you said your sister's in the spiritual community. Is she like a healer or?
She is.
Yeah, dude. I think spirituality really gets me interested because I think humans have been around for thousands of years. Without technology, they were doing amazing stuff. They were able to communicate, hunt, survive. The human mind has evolved. So I'm a big believer, bro. Like I've always been given this, it's almost like a gift, but I think it's because I'm just being myself and I want good. But like I can like manifest stuff. I can make like even get this podcast together, right? Like what are the odds? I'm homies with Harrison and I'm like looking for guests that stand out, and he's like, "Yo, bro, you need to have my guy JoJo on there." And that's like God blessing me through that relationship, But so have you always, how old's your sister? First off, is she older? I would assume.
Yeah, she just turned 27.
Okay. And when did you guys start kind of dabbling into, I guess, spiritualism and stuff like that? And why would she give that to you as a gift?
Well, we grew up in the church, right? So we were kind of conditioned to think and believe a certain way.
Yeah, follow rules.
Right? And then you get to an age where you start questioning everything.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, what does this really mean?
Was your church like God-fearing, like growing up? Like, if you do wrong, God will smite you. And I think there's this like new way of having those because before that, I didn't believe in like taking someone's interpretation of God's word and being like, that's what it is. I'm like, let me venture out. So you guys grew up in the church, were conditioned to like, this is how you do it, 9 a.m. on Sunday. Matter of fact, this is what God's saying in this sentence.
Right.
Yeah. What made you like branch out? Both of you kind of like your way of rebellion was through spirituality?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
It was a way to explore the deeper depths of ourselves.
Yeah.
It hit a cap. It hit a threshold where like it couldn't go any deeper under the model that it was under the understanding. So kind of branched out, started asking questions. You know, and plant medicine had a lot to do with it.
Okay.
You smoke weed one time and you'll realize like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, the human mind is powerful.
Yes.
Powerful, bro.
So that kind of just evolved and snowballed into the point to where we're here now where.
Do you think that, you know, this is one thing that interests me, right? I'm very competitive. I am competitive with other people because fuck you. Like, you're not beating me at ping pong. This is my house, right? And if you do, you're not coming back. But no, I'm very competitive, but I'm also competitive within myself. And I got to a point where it was like, yo, if I really set my mind to something, I can accomplish it. So living for the people on the outside, you know, because we're like in high school, maybe you're trying to be cool, you're trying to be this, you're living for other people. And every time I accomplished, like I was a little guy, I wanted to get swole. The moment I accomplished it, I was just like, oh, this means nothing. And so you're kind of left in this space of like, well, then what does mean something? Oh, it's within. Yep. Is that kind of how, like, by you being successful in high school, you're just like, oh, but like there's more, and this doesn't bring me satisfaction. But what does is knowing myself.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Like,
so you guys, basically what you're saying is y'all started smoking some weed together, right? Is what you're saying, bro.
Not even.
Is that how it started? Like you and your sister like sneak off, smoke some weed or something?
Dude, I think that's what first like was the catalyst of like my mind opening.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course, yeah.
But shit, bro, you
said. Yeah, and she dove more into it. So now does she do it professionally?
She does.
Okay.
She's devoted her life. She lived in Mexico for the last 6 months in Tulum, and
that's cool.
Was building her online business, and just like, you know, when you're in the spiritual community, like you can't give anything that you don't have.
Yeah.
So you can't give from an empty cup. So just being in a position where, you know, you're one with yourself, you're in wholeness with yourself, so then you can provide and serve those gifts to your community.
You know what's interesting? I've always found like I've been able to. Because you don't need to be in Mexico to have these experiences or to be one with yourself. One thing you mentioned to me, right? Like you're not a very materialistic guy. And although I have the material, neither am I. Like I don't give a fuck about any of this. Any of it. But I will just because it's cool. You know?
Because you're expressing yourself
fully.
I'm
expressing myself fully. Exactly. But I don't care. Like my car's a car. It's just like the doors go up. That's cool, bro. But it's just like I'm just being different. But I don't give a fuck. I'll fucking walk if I have to, right? Do you think a lot of that comes from just the satisfaction that you get within yourself? Because even that, bro. Oh, that's what I was going to bring up. So sometimes I had like this whole story of adversity trying to become an All-American, right? Like we all know the story. Fucking whatever. The world's against you, yada, yada. Until at one point you're just like, yeah, let me just make this shit happen, right? Because they're not going to give me anything. I'll just run it up. So when I became an All-American, I remember the moment I won the match, because the kid was on his back, I got up and I was just like, like I did that. And every time I do that, bro, I get goosebumps. And randomly, I'll be in the car and I'll do that and I'll think about that moment and I just feel beast mode. Do you ever do stuff like that? Like, do you ever bring up moments of like a touchdown or like, you know, a pick six, like, or like, you know what I'm saying? Where you just felt like raw, like just you. Do you ever channel that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I sleep in my room and it's basically like a museum of my life.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking around and be like, man, I really did that. Man, I really was Gatorade Player of the Year. Man, I really was Colorado Athlete of the Year. Man, I really was.
Sorry I didn't flex harder in the beginning, bro.
No, you're so, yeah. But you look around and I just reflect on my life and it's like, wow, like I did these things and this is me.
And
but
you already did them.
It's already happened, but it's not, it's what I did. It's not who I am.
Exactly.
But who I am manifested what I did.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's the key to all this.
It's the circle of life, bro. Because... No, and that's what's interesting, and that's one thing that I even brought up, and I hope, like, you know, I mean, no disrespect, right? But, like, you get into the league, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, congrats. Like, bro, people coming out the woodworks like, yo, bro, you remember me? I'm sure, right?
Yep.
And you're like, obviously it's fucking sick, but at the same time, you're just like, I just did that shit the same way I did that other shit, and in 6 months I'll be a different human, and I'll be, right? Like, you can't even worry about anything.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about like this draft experience, right? Because like I said, you're supposed to go rounds 3 through 5. You did it. Did that matter? How did you feel on the night? Like, what are your thoughts now?
Yeah, man, it was I mean, it was a roller coaster of emotions. When it's
because I don't even know how it works. Like,
yeah,
can you just not ever pop? You know what I'm saying? Like, so right as rounds go, you're just like, oh, is this happening? Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like when your expectations don't meet your real life situation.
Where did you think you were going? The Colts? Did you know you were going to the Colts?
No, I had no idea.
I'm sure you had talks, right? Where people telling you like, yo, we might pick you up round 3 or.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I was on the big board. But when it came to teams, they just saw me as a experienced player that can play on all special teams and that's, has football intelligence and isn't going to be doing the messed up shit off the field. Yeah. So I'm not going to be a problem off the field.
They look for that too.
Absolutely.
They want good community, right? Like, did you guys ever have in college, right, Nebraska, probably a lot like Colorado Mesa, where it's just like the school, except Nebraska's like, bro, what was it, like 51 years of just sold out stadiums, bro? Probably the biggest stadium in the world. Like, for not biggest stadium, right, but like biggest fan base to play most college football. Games, I think, you're just balling out. You have to every time because everybody's watching.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how was that, bro? Why'd you go to Nebraska in the first place?
I went to Nebraska because it meant something to play for Nebraska. Coming from Pine Creek and being in a football family, like, I take pride in what I do. Yeah. And if I'm gonna sacrifice and put in all the time and the work for my team, like, I just wanted to mean something. So that was kind of the biggest driving factor into going to Nebraska. I had North Carolina, Virginia, Cal Berkeley, Arizona State, and when I got the Nebraska call, I got offered by Cal Berkeley in the same day. Yeah. And I didn't even remember because I was just so
you're locked in, bro.
I was like, Nebraska.
You were born to get the corn off the cob, bro. That's what he did. That's what my guy did.
So that environment up there, I went up there for the Ohio State game. He picked off C.J. Stroud, who's going to be like the top 3 draft pick next year. Yeah. And that drive, I remember there was a couple plays before where you could have picked it off. And then we were all like, damn, that was close.
But he's always there.
And then you just saw this kind of this energy JoJo was bringing on the field, and I'll let you kind of tap into more about what you were feeling. Because after the game, you came home and told us, and we're like, bro, all of us felt the same energy in the stadium. That he was feeling on the field, we felt it up in the stands.
Bro!
It was like, he could have got it, but it was
like he was one with it. Was like you guys were living that life.
Yeah, and I'll let you tap on
with it. Like you were going through that experience. I've had multiple experiences where it's like you were feeling the same energy as everybody in the room. Like we are all on the same page. We all see it. Like we all feel it. That must have been crazy, bro. Just letting it fucking travel through 51,000 bodies, bro.
90.
You remember this day?
90,000.
90,000? Oh, bro.
Yeah.
So let me 90,000, bro.
So basically, I tore a ligament in my hand.
Yeah.
And because I was invited to the Senior Bowl, I was kind of faced with the decision, like, yo, do I shut it down and get my hand right so I can go compete in the Senior Bowl for the next phase? Yeah. And
you're like, no, ball out.
I basically was like, yo, we got the number 1 offense in the country coming into town. This is, like, I want to go out on my own terms. I want to know when my last game in Memorial is. Yeah. So that was kind of the mindset going into it. So we shot that shit up, and we went out there, and on the second drive of the game, I'm in cover 3 playing the curl flat, and they ran a curl flat concept. Yeah. Which I'm the conflict defender, and I stayed in the curl.
I'm just picturing I'm like sliding like Madden plays right now. Curl flat.
Yes.
You you back up 5 and like run. Yes. Yeah, bro. All right. Oh, bro. All right, they're hitting the curl, bro. Hit this slot receiver, bro. Peep this slot receiver right here. I'm gonna get his ass, bro. I was looking you up, bro. So I saw some pictures of you like picking up some big ass dudes, bro, like 400 pounders, like one-handed it, you know? Yeah.
But let me.
My bad. I'm feeling that energy, bro. You got me wilding.
So, I'm in the curl flat, and they throw the curl, and I'm
that's this one, like that. We'll put a picture over here.
And I'm in the curl, and he throws the curl, and basically, I'm like, oh shit, did he actually throw that? And I go to catch it, and I get hit.
Oh shit.
I get hit in the back, like as the ball hits my hands. Dang. And the ball goes through my hands, hits my chest, and hits the ground. And this is my last college game. Yeah. And the stadium just erupts.
Oh, wait.
And then deflates. Just like that.
don't get those.
Oh, you don't get those? We get it. We get it. Sorry, bro. Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment. I'll never forget that moment on my knees as the whole stadium just filled up and then deflated with the ball between my legs.
Yeah, you're just like, I just missed this catch.
Yeah. I was like, this is not me.
Yeah.
Let me show them who I am.
In the helmet.
So in that moment, I basically jumped timelines, if you think about it. So like when things happen in our life, we can either, accept them, play victim to them, and continue on that path, or we can choose to live and perceive things differently, and we actually jump timelines. Be who
you were supposed to be, the guy that you were destined to be.
So in that moment,
and that guy catches interceptions.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. This kid makes plays. This dude doesn't miss plays.
Exactly.
So five plays later, they're driving. We're in cover 3 again. Smith-Njigba motions. We're not in man. They motion him back. They do a play action rollout pass. Smith-Njigba does an out and up. I have to carry the out. I check the quarterback because I'm in his back pocket. The quarterback checks him, tells him to check up. So right when I see that, I transfer my eyes to the hip. And as soon as he drops his hips, I break on the ball. And I just toe tap on the sideline like I've done, thousands of times in my backyard with my brother. And then there it was.
On the rocks, bro. On the rocks. That's crazy. It feels
surreal. Like, even just being, like, there with the Domann family in the stands.
Look, bro.
Dude, I'm getting it right now.
And your boy just shaved, but your boy's
good.
Like,
the Nebraska Stadium, it's like a religion up there.
Yeah,
Nebraska
of course.
Is like their life.
Of course,
so
bro.
Seeing a sea of 90,000 red people, because it was Ohio State. Even their fans look like Nebraska fans that day. Yeah. It was just, like, too pretty of a play for everyone not to admire.
Just be like, ball out, bro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I think that's important. Is the way you talk to yourself, even in that moment. Like, you said it the way you said it, but that's because you said it. Like, bro, come on. This guy makes plays, bro.
Exactly.
This guy? Me, bro? You know? And I think a lot of people sometimes are scared to talk to themselves that way. Like, they are. Like, humans have evolved. We are living gods, bro. You could channel that kind of energy. Like, God put you here to live you. And when you live you feel like a god. You feel, because that's what you were put here to be. So as you find your journey, you feel like yourself.
I feel like Hemi Neutron.
But to like, bro, you got to hype yourself up sometimes, right? You got to be like, yo, you're the baddest dude out here, bro. And you ain't got no butterfingers, boy, And that's how I talk to myself in my head. I'd be like, you butterfinger bitch in my head, right? But people are like, I talk to me as I talk to a friend, right? Like, yo, bro, like, what's up, right? And I think people are too scared to hype themselves up, bro. And that's the only way you can channel it is to be like, yo.
Sounds like you're just saying, basically, you're saying, know your worth.
Know your worth, bro. Know your worth. But know exactly who you are, Yeah. And I think in that moment, you are the guy that catches the interception. So it was easy to channel. But sometimes you got to channel the guy who catches it when you're not the guy who catches it and you can catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of the prep work that you've done. Do you feel like, were you ever, because I'm sure in practice there's like routes, right? Like there's a guy that just like hits the routes, but he like never balls out. Like,
right.
Game time is different, right? So would you do what we just did before game time, or like, how are you prepping? Because I was listening to like R&B, bro. Like, just little, you have your own like little trance.
Right.
What would you do?
For me, it was all about harnessing and controlling the energy and really just bottling it up. So like before games, like I'm not like the super hype guy. Like into my senior year, I grew into more of a vocal and emotional leader for our team. But like I build that up so that in the locker room, I can then give my teammates exactly what they're expecting and need from me. Yeah. Which is that energy. Yeah. Right. Which is that master intention of we're all going to show up to the best of our ability. We're going to go ball out. We're going to take the will to play from them and let the result play for take care of itself.
And it's a flow. Like, bro, I got you. I'm here. When everybody's out there to ball out, it's a good vibe.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about the Colts?
I could not be in a better place.
Yeah.
If everything happens for a reason, then
of course
everything happens for a reason.
Of course. And that's why Peyton Manning had to come win one with the Broncos. Are you a Broncos fan?
I appreciate the Broncos,
I appreciate it. It's been hard to be a fan for a while, bro. It was like Peyton Manning for a second,
Yeah.
I remember guys wearing plumber jerseys like.
It's all about the black and gold.
Pittsburgh
Steelers.
No. But no, it's all good. Respect to everybody out there doing their thing, You guys are both big humans. Have you always been big humans in general? Or like, because I feel like Harrison's been like a big guy. Have you always been taller than everyone?
I mean, I've always been average height. I've never been towering over people. I've never been really short.
I feel like you're big, bro.
In like high school, that's
chair.
That's ultimately what led me to quit playing soccer. Is like kind of my body just.
It's hard to be like
up, and so I was just kind of always a bigger kid. Kids were running by me. It just got frustrating.
Yeah.
And I just didn't love it anymore. We just played so much, and so at some point in someone's life, when they're around someone so much, they come to like a why where it's like, okay, I'm over this. I'm gonna go this direction, or like this is actually what I truly love and want to do. Yeah. And go the other direction, and we went the other direction from the soccer and whatnot, and just got into working out. Once I actually got bigger and fat. Yeah. Freshman year, and then after my dad passed away freshman year.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, R.I.P. It's life, but I needed an escape route. I needed a place where I can go and kind of forget everything and be in my element to like try and kind of make me a better person. And I started not only having mental issues, but also getting bigger. And so what I just always told myself is like, I'm not going to feel better tomorrow because it's just so many different elements and variables going on in life, but I can focus on progressing. I need to get 1% better each day. It's
being
all about
present,
progress.
Bro. Being present. And if you don't like what you see in the mirror, like fix it.
Yeah, so that's what got me into kind of getting bigger and lifting out.
Because, bro, these men are big, bro. Because I'm like, your boys are kind of big, bro, over here. And I'm feeling kind of small. But I was small my whole life. I was 4'11", 85 pounds as a freshman. So your boy was tiny, bro, and I wanted to play football. Like that shit is not happening.
Right.
So I wrestled.
Was that you cutting, or is that you at a big size?
No, that's like my junior year maybe.
You got some pythons, bro.
Yeah, bro. Your boy's always been stacked, but I wrestled 174, and these guys, like, not always, but I've always had like good genetics and stuff. So my like arms look. I've had a 6-pack my whole life. Yeah. But your boy works hard, that's why you see him all swole. Look at the bulge right there too, bro. Big bulge guy. No, but anyways, no, man. So it's I feel like you guys are like know each other and have known each other for a while, and it gets to the point where you just appreciate.
We've just been there.
Different journeys,
Exactly. Like he was that we were kids together. I saw him flourish into what he did in high school. Yeah. Saw us become people that we are the reason why we are now. Yeah. We both know who we used to be, and we let that kind of fuel us to be better humans.
Well, you go through these journeys, like even like the moments of smoking weed as a kid, like leaving the church, awakening your mind, like you guys are living that together. Yep. And I think 7 billion people in the world, the odds of us knowing each other is like literally impossible.
Crazy.
Literally impossible. Every decision dad, mom made, whether they were awoken or not, and knowing they made a decision led to that meeting and their grandparents.
Decisions that people they weren't even around at the time. Decisions that other people made.
Yeah, bro. Like even if your dad's just like couldn't come, you don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like just at all. And then every decision that had to be made for us to be here, we made our. Like what are the odds of us 4 being in this room? It's freaking nuts. So. To your journey in life, right, is everybody was put here for a reason. Back in the day, it's like making fun of kids because they're small, making fun of people. It's like, bro, we're all on our own journey. And if you're good, you're good. And even if some bad comes in or like, this person's homeless, on drugs, whatever, I am like living this experience with them. And I want them better off. So even like, and I start with that. So even like before we started the podcast, it's like, you leading us through that breathing exercise was a lesson, but it's also like giving. Like, even if the podcast sucks and we suck, like, I'm taking that with me, Yep. And I'm gonna need the song and I'm gonna need a little notes on the breath work. But one thing we talked about, right? This is what you're doing, and when you're doing it, you're all in, 100%. Present. But even like. The most illustrious football career, it ends at some point. Yep. Unless you're Tom Brady, and that dude could probably sling it for like 10 more years, bro. But I'm sure you have an idea for like life after football, right? Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur? Are there things that pique your interest? Do you think you'll just go full like nomad, like long hair, just like walking the streets and just, like, I don't know. What's up with that? Do you think you're gonna invest in something? We're definitely getting the real estate. You can 100%. Be a nomad and have a real estate empire. So
we're gonna be dabbling in everything.
Yeah, bro.
We were talking about that the other day. We're gonna be business partners moving forward because you want to surround yourself with lions and the energy that you want to be around, and bigger things happen. It's like a snowball effect.
That's like me and my business partner, bro. We made a pact to share everything 50-50. So he'll come up with some ideas, some products that like he does on his own. Your boy gets 50%, and then I do some shit. He gets 50%. When you find those people that just feel trustworthy and worthy, you know,
you call from the mom.
Huh? Oh, you're getting it?
Yeah, it's all good.
Have you talked to my mom? Because she only speaks Portuguese. Should I patch her in, bro? Is that weird?
If she only speaks Portuguese.
It's your podcast,
Yeah, that'd be weird. No, I'm not going to
podcast.
patch her in. Stop calling me mom. Have you been educating this man in real estate, bro? Where do you think honestly, because the energy I get from you, bro, you're going to be in the league for a long time. You're going to make some money, some Super Bowl checks, I'm sure. I'm sure, I don't know how people even get paid, bro, but I'm sure you get a billion dollar tackle, right? Like, I'm sure they give out, I don't know. What are you doing with that, bro? After football, right? Because it also gives you a platform to elevate your brand, spread awareness. What are your plans for the brand of JoJo after football?
Man, I really just want to create a self-sustaining community is all that I really want to do. I want to make money. I want to start businesses. I want to help people. I want to serve people. And I think what that ultimately looks like is a self-sustaining community.
Yeah.
I mean, if the world goes dark again and, right, COVID was in 2020, whatever's next, where they shut us down and they have control over the population, just being able to a place where they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I feel about my house, bro. I run this bitch, president. All right, listen, here, bro. All right, the BruKnows Nation, bro. The US of A in Bruno land. Anyways, oh shit.
But yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever that looks like. If that's breath work, if that's healing, if that's whatever it is, like it's gonna come to me when it's supposed to. And I guess, like you were alluding to, like I'm called to be present right now.
Yeah.
In the NFL, like that is my number one thing.
The dope story, we kind of got distracted from it, was draft night. Well, the whole draft experience, because that's like a...
Thank you.
I got you, bro. I'm steering us back.
Yeah, steer us back. We're having fun.
All right, draft night. Draft week, bro. It was an adventure. Like, the boys came into town. His family's there. Like, this is the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah.
And...
walk me through that, bro, because honestly, like, happy to go, not where you thought, anxiety out the roof, and also biggest chip, like, all right, motherfuckers, y'all will see. You will see, you dumb motherfuckers. But anyways, can you kind of just walk me through that, like, even in the way that you walked us through that, right? Like, what's going on in your body, and what do you take from that and go into the future with?
Well, it was one of those things where, like, you think it says a lot about you. Like, this is the defining moment where, like, whatever happens here.
Because society.
Right.
Society's like, you got to get drafted like this round.
It's how we think we fit into the world and who we are. But it's like we said earlier, it's what we do, and it's not who we are. And just knowing that distinction, and that just draft weekend definitely put that all into perspective, and was trying to pull me into, like, yo, like, the earlier you go, like, the doper you are, validates you as a person, validates you as a football player. Right?
Yeah, it gives you, like, some weird different access within the team where people might even treat you different on the team.
Potentially.
You know, there's all these, like, social dynamics. Oh, this is a moment I want to talk about, right? So, like, your boy was nasty in high school, but then you get to college and it's like, oh, welcome, buddy. Like, the walk-on is just sticking you, bro. Like, did you ever have that moment? And do you remember the moment where you were like, oh, fuck, this is college? Because it's like, oh, I'm winning championships in high school, but then you come up and you're like, no, this is Nebraska football, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I was telling everybody at my graduation party that I'm redshirting, and I go up there, and I didn't redshirt. I played as a true freshman. Was one of the 4 guys that ended up playing.
Yeah, that's rare. That's rare. For people who don't know, college sports is very rare. You always take a redshirt.
Right.
You know?
So I'm out there, first kickoff of the season. I'm on kickoff return under the lights, and I remember feeling like I was in a video game.
Yeah.
I was shaking, like, bro.
Bro, I break controllers all the time because I'm like, if it's a new game, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, and like I mean that year was a rude awakening, just like getting put on my ass, like having a 240 pound.
You got stuck?
Having a 240 pound.
You were going to receive it, or did you just get stuck like waiting for it?
So I was blocking.
Oh, you were blocking?
So I'm supposed to stop somebody running full speed downfield.
I bet you he said some shit too. Was he like, yeah? Did he say so? I don't know football trash talk, bro. I never got to play.
Yeah.
No, I never got to play. You see guys talk shit in basketball and stuff when they get competitive. Right. And I played like, 8th grade basketball. Nobody was talking shit like back then. Did he say something or anything or no?
Dude, I'm sure he did.
Even silent. I'm the kind of person I'm like, all right.
Even just like
we're both gonna remember this moment. I'm gonna show you.
Even just walking away and staring him down.
Yeah,
and like,
just like looking at him like freaking little kid, bro.
Only way I make the Colts is if I take a grown man's job.
Right, that's a good way to look at it.
So it's a business, it's a profession, and I'd be ignorant to say I'm not going to be humbled.
What time did you get agents involved? Is that like, were you talking to people in high school and shit, bro?
Kind of.
This dude's bread, or his dad even knows like, yo, you don't want it up for a week. That way you get the most alpha sperm in there,
My dad is my agent.
Oh, really? That's cool, bro. Oh, so this dude, that's a good relationship to have, bro.
His dad is like, I'll just touch on this real quick. After my dad passed away, his dad helped me out through life. When I got into a bad spot, he helped me out not only financially to like help me get back on my feet, but also like just like spoke to me in an organic way. Because I had some people like, hey, since your dad's gone, I know you need like a father figure in life, and like told me that's why they're there. But
to take advantage.
Random times, Craig would hit me up on a phone call and we just talk life. And so for him to like take that role, not even take that role because it's not like he's doing it to get anything out of it, but just like I can't.
Well, he saw a need in a good person,
Yeah, exactly, and it just speaks volumes to his whole family, his mom, brother, sister, grandma, everyone in the Domann family is like one of the realest people out there.
So can we talk about that for a second? And I know I'm not trying to get like real serious, but or I am a little bit. So like I know your dad passed away, bro. My dad's one of the biggest role models in my life. Like, I'm even tearing up. Fuck it. I want to have him on the podcast too because I just love the guy so much, and I know like that shit sucks.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I don't know. What do you take from that? Because there's not anything that can be done. But how do you lead life differently? And I know you just haven't. You have your newborn. Yeah, bro. So with you having this, new kiddo, you're have newly become a father, and with the passing of your dad, I feel like even through the pregnancy, right, might have had you feeling some kind of way. Walk me through that, and how do you take life?
Guidance through the pregnancy. I'll sit here and say, I wasn't as good of a man as I should have been to McKenna, my girlfriend, throughout the pregnancy, just because it was. I mean, I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anyone like kind of putting me in place from like a male, like.
And that's important,
perspective, 100%. And so it sucks like not being who I wish I could have been for her, but. Going back to my father passing away, a couple of the big things that I took away from it is just because someone passes away, obviously you're going to mourn for a while. It sucks to lose someone, but I was very lucky to see a bigger picture of it. I knew my dad's history leading up to it. He had a bunch of unfortunate events leading up to it that caused him to be an alcoholic, and he was one of the first people to have gastric bypass surgery. But they make your stomach smaller, so they know that all the alcohol like kills your stomach 10 times faster.
Was this from alcohol?
Yeah, essentially.
I never actually knew that.
Yeah, essentially. But he was like my dad leading up this. He wasn't like a drunk alcoholic where he was rude and everyone's parents like don't be around that family. Like he was like a local legend. His name was Wellington, but everyone called him Buddy because he was everyone's buddy. So when he passed away, I obviously was very torn up about it, but I knew that people don't understand that being an alcoholic, it's a sickness, it's an illness. He tried to get better, but you crave alcohol like you crave food.
Well, and I think anything can be a sickness when, and it's unfortunate, but it sounds like, you might be looking for something somewhere else, and then you just get stuck, like physically addicted to it because it gave you some kind of release,
Exactly. And
that's why self-awareness is important.
I personally felt like when he passed away, he was in a coma for a couple of days before he eventually passed away, and I woke up like we knew it was like getting towards the time where he was gonna be passing away, and I was actually at home. He was at the hospital. My mom was at the hospital. And I was laying in bed, and I woke up out of nowhere going, let go, let go, let go. Dang, and then I go back to sleep. 30 minutes later, my mom comes home, and she's like, it just happened. He just passed away.
Dang, bro.
And so I felt almost like a relief because I knew that he was at peace now. Yeah. And there's a couple different directions. I went off the rail for a little bit, but then luckily I have an amazing mom, and I thought to myself, like, I could be chewed up that he's not here anymore, but I was like, nope, that's bullshit. Now he's watching over me all the time. So
you need to take this guy to Mexico is what you need to do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me come. Yeah. But for real, because that's emotionally heavy and not anybody could get through that. And one thing, so I had my mom's sister, my aunt, was with me from when I was born. So she like lived with my parents from the time she was 12 to the time she was 18. And I was born, and she was, I was 4 when she died. So she was 18. So she was 14 when I was born. Anyways, grew up with her. Was like the most important person in my life. I'm only 4 years old. Some guy goes to pick her up to take her to a party. He's drunk, hits a parked semi truck. Just her half, bro, just got hit. He probably survived too. Not a scratch.
Yeah. That's
not a scratch. Like Playboy type guy too. Like just, super wealthy family, like doesn't give a fuck, just parties, whatever. She was like blind, deaf, paralyzed for 3-4 months and then passed away. And, you're 4 years old. I don't know what that's done to me as a person, but I feel like you kind of feel this void all the time. And it's easy to fill that void with superficial life because it's easy. You just buy some shit, you drink some shit, right?
That's probably the worst thing about it is that, like, I consciously try to dream about him, remember his touch, remember, like, his voice and stuff like that. But, like, the memories fade, so that's probably one of the toughest
dude, I think that's God blessing you with your kid, too, because now, like, you could, just like we were talking about, like, reliving those moments, you could relive that touch the other way, Yeah. Oh, that just get like, bro, that just like, you're going to be such a good dad.
It's trippy looking at him. I'm like, wow, this is like the only, other than like me and my siblings, this is like the next generation of my father.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so it's trippy and it's a blessing.
When my grandpa passed this last year, I just remember I went to his funeral in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and man, just had a moment where I was like, man, his light still lives in me.
Yeah.
And anything that's not light goes to the grave.
And I'm sure you see that light when you look at your dad at times, or your mom, or whoever.
Yeah, but
was he your mom's dad or your dad's dad?
It was my dad's dad. And just choosing to allow the light to live on through me and allow the darkness to go to the grave. Yeah.
But sometimes, don't you feel like sometimes you need to bring up the darkness? Like sometimes you just gotta, like, bro, this is my shit, bro. It's just like bring up that dark side. Do you ever channel that? I'm getting goosebumps.
I would argue that's not
dark.
It's not dark energy.
Right.
It's light energy.
It's light energy, but it's your dark side. It's your like
alter ego.
Bro, that's what I feel like. I don't know. That's what I feel like people perceive me as, is my alter ego, which is me expressing myself to the fullest, right? And I think all of us have that version of us on, because think about this, bro. Nobody fully knows you ever. People, there's a million versions of you. Like even today, I only know the you I'm experiencing right now. He knows more of you because he's known you. But even mom, dad, nobody knows you, bro.
Do you even know you?
I know me. I'd like to think I could know myself better. I think that's the journey.
Do you ever come to a completeness where you completely understand yourself, or are we ever expanding beings, therefore our understanding of ourselves has to be forever expanding?
Yeah, that, and I think when I do come to fully thinking I understand it, I'm faced with like trials and tribulations and things to overcome, and just proves me wrong again. And what's interesting to me is I feel like I've lived a lot of lives already. I have like a lot of stories. I have like being small, getting swole. Like that's a lot of people's like life journey. Being a little guy, getting swole, whatever. Or like not getting girls to getting maybe one of the hottest girls in the world, like, right? Or like sucking at a sport, being good at a sport. Or, and I like relate it all back. It's so weird. Right when I think I'm figuring it out, it just goes away,
Yeah, life reminds you that you don't.
Yeah, but does it feel like a cycle to you? Like I can almost every single success or situation I can touch back to, like, it almost gives me closure. Like, why did this go in a full circle and then it did it again and it did it again? It almost gives me this faith that, like, it'll do it again. So if I just go this way, it'll close, you know, and if you're always headed in the right direction.
Yeah, bro. Life is a cycle, and it's because energy is cycles.
And that's how we were breathing earlier.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just think about how the plants breathe out what we breathe in, and we breathe out what the plants breathe in, and how everything's intertwined, and how we need each other to sustain life on this planet, and how, I mean, we die, we become dust that turns into soil for the plants to grow, and the plants grow for then us to eat and nurture ourselves, so we can go big and so it, like, everything's a cycle. And
the last touch on this, which brings it up to me, right? Like, isn't this concept of, like, life is the most important thing you'll ever do, but also in the big spectrum of thing, it means nothing. Like, your speck means nothing, but it does, you know, like 7 billion years, you were a speck. So, like, why not ball out? Because you're like, who cares, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like all you are.
Correct.
And that's even intertwined, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
It's duality.
Yeah.
The two extremes.
And I feel duality in everything.
Definitely.
Like, and it's either one, and that's one thing, bro. That's why I like playing this character or, like, being this person, because I have this very type of energy where people are either, like, people will go out of their lives to be rude to me or, like, to say, you know, like, make me feel some kind of way sometimes. But maybe it's because I'm wearing jeans, but I, like, cut one leg off, and I'm like, but I like that. And the reason I like that is I see duality immediately. I see, like, either good people treating me like I should be treated because I'm just like you, you know, or I see people that are, like, just being haters, and I'm like, all right, you this way, this, and that's why Harrison got invited to my wedding. I had met the guy twice, and I was just like, fuck with you so heavy, bro. This dude called me one day, like, randomly to just give me props on your. Oh, I called you.
I was faded. You know, I see, like, Bruno Nicoletti ask my girlfriend, like, what's up with this kid? Because I think you posted.
Yes,
I followed you,
bro.
and someone posted something.
Oh, that's why I had mad respect. So check this out.
I called, like, 3 of kids who know him. I'm like, Bruno's
so check this out. Let me get it from my perspective. So I'm working upstairs. My office was upstairs at the time. And then I get, like, 3 different text messages. It's like McKenna asking, McKenna asked Jordan if Jordan would give me, because I knew McKenna separately from Harrison, but she was like, will you give me Bruno's number? And then I had one person or 2 other people text me. Basically, Harrison wanted my number, right? And I called him because I was like, that's the most gangster shit, bro. Like, this dude wants to meet me. And it's because we have this lack of awareness, but also, like, hustle within our age group. Like, people just want to party, want to have fun. And so the moment I, like, all those things happen, I'm like, let me call this kid. And vibed out immediately. I think we talked on the phone for like 30, 40 minutes. And then, bro, just always showing love. Like, something happens, he calls me, like, bro, props. So on his birthday, I called him. And then I'm like, we had like a 2-hour talk. And I'm like, all right, bro, I know this is the last second. I have my wedding next week. Like, you're coming to my wedding, you know?
Hell yeah.
And it's not a mystery why he surrounds himself with guys like you know, or I'm trying to create a space where we can all just vibe out and, you know, no judgment, because we can all learn from each other, bro. And so I want to thank you guys both for being on my podcast. I'm definitely going to have you guys back because I feel like we didn't tap into half of this stuff. I'm going to grab the notes on the breathing, but is there anything you guys want to say? I'm excited for JoJo, man, entering this new chapter in his life. And I think even the duality and just getting the ticket is exactly what it needs to be, you know? And so I'm excited to see what you do, bro. And give me 50-yard line one day. All right? But
yeah, bro. I guess I'll just leave you with this, man. Yeah. What you were talking about was the perception of others of you and how it's either love or hate.
Yeah.
And just understand that we are literally just reflections of each other to ourselves. So when people are cramping on your style, it's because they see you expressing yourself and they feel
the way that they want to.
That they deeply wish that they could. And the things that you love and see in other people is things you truly appreciate and love in yourself. So understand that everything is just a reflection of you.
Dude, and I always try to bounce it back with light, you know? I always try to keep it light. Like, yeah, I'm doing this because it's whatever, bro. Like, you know, you can't let government. You can't let people who aren't living your life tell you what to do ever. They're not you, bro. And there's a lot of people I love, a lot of people I go to counsel. But, bro, you got to make your own decisions, you know, and you got to be able to tap into that self-awareness and be a little different and be who you are. And I think you're exactly who you are, bro. Harrison, overall, genuine human being. It was a blessing to have you both. Harrison, thanks for bringing JoJo. JoJo, thanks for coming, bro. Now, ball out, baby.
Yes,
ball
sir.
out.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. See ya.